Oh, we're
for
live on
you-
Facebook. How long have we been live on Facebook? You have to tell me that we're live. Usually I get, no, Jake did not tell me.
He spelled it Kalive. So,
Hold on,
it was a little confusing. I get it.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Hold on. In the booth, in the production booth, in the LCA production booth. What's that? We're live? Okay, we're live. Hey, everyone, I'm Nick Baldwin, and welcome to LabCoatAgents. I'm one of the co-founders of this glorious community, and I'm excited to be here today with a real celebrity, Dan Stewart, the CEO. He has 3 letters in front of his name, CEO of Happy Grasshopper, and Happy Grasshopper and LabCoatAgents decided to have a baby, and we came up with something called LCA Nurture, because right now, Dan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it is more important now, more than ever, to stay in front of your database and people that you know and people that know you. And even if they don't like you, it doesn't matter. You should still be in front of them. What do you think?
I think that, if like most of the country, the people here today are in a tight inventory market, there is never a better time to shore up your relationships. Everybody is desperate to find listing inventory. And guess what? It's the person with the relationship that gets the inventory, right? Now is not the time to be building that brand new relationship. It's time to really go deep with the people you've already got. Okay.
Yep.
So,
you don't need more leads. You need to talk to those people. Don't be afraid. They already know you.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do first, Dan?
We are going to cover all sorts of good stuff today. So guys, listen, this is super important. Nick, Tristan, and myself have built this super cool tool called LCA Nurture. You are going to learn about that today. You are going to freaking love it. And yet, aren't there already tools in real estate? Have you heard that, Nick? Did you know agents use technology in their business?
I'm aware of a few tools, yes, but I'm not aware
of a few that are out there, right?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah, so we need to have a chat about why agents have technology and then they're not using it, right? I mean, that happens.
It does happen. Why don't they want to use it? Because it's probably too difficult. They don't know how to set it up. Maybe they don't know what to say. And I think we can show them that it's really not that hard to do.
Well, let's do this. I mean, we got an audience here today. Do you mind if I just ask them some questions? Would that be cool?
No, and by the way, guys, if you're watching on Zoom or you're watching on Facebook, Dan is going to ask you questions, and we really would love for you to answer. And we would love for you to ask Dan questions, and you could ask me a question too.
All right, cool. So first thing I want you to do is enter in the chat to me on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the best as always, how satisfied you are with your database. Scale of 0 to 10. Let's get that in the chat.
Yeah, and if you're watching on Facebook, just, type it down there in the comments for us so we can see.
See these numbers?
Let's talk about some of the numbers coming in. 5, 4, 2, 6, 7, 5, 6.5. Well, nothing really over 7, 5. So, like, we're hovering around 5 to 7.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't see anything higher than that.
Yeah, it's rare. And this is a question I always love to ask whenever I'm traveling around with a live audience. You ask people how satisfied they are with their database, and they say, it's a solid meh on the meh scale. People just don't love their database. And then the very next question, and this one is also super important. If the majority of your business comes to you from past clients and referrals, say yes in the chat for me.
I'm just going to say it out loud.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
So by the way, that's what I like to hear. And I'll tell you, here's the thing. Like, I have this conversation all the time with agents. Let's say you were like a different industry. Let's say you were, I don't know, a Target. Why do you think you continuously get circulars emailed to you from Target? Because they want you to keep coming back. Right? They're really good at, even my kids, my 5-year-old, Daddy, can we go to Target? Like, they love it. Target's doing a great job. So you could be Target to keep people coming back and buying and selling homes.
You've got to stay in touch with your database. It is the single most important thing you can do for your business. And yet it's something that we struggle with as a community, right? We do. And so today I want to break down the reasons why, and I want to help get you over that hump so you don't have to struggle with it anymore. So, the best way to do this is just to be open and frank. I applaud your bravery for being here. I applaud your bravery for participating, entering your answers in the chat. We're going to continue to ask for that throughout the session. So first thing I'm going to do here is fire up a screen share. And
hey, I have a question for you though, Dan, before we start.
Yeah, fire away.
Other than what beard oil do you use? Because I'm looking for a new one. I was going to ask you, why do you think so many agents are more afraid to call people they know as opposed to complete random strangers?
Oh, they're afraid they're going to get bad news. There's so much fear there because, when's the last time we talked, Nick? We've known each other 10 years. If I'm in Michigan and I'm not sleeping on your couch, I expect you to be pissed off at me, right? And yet it's been a few weeks since we loved on each other. And
it is.
So
it has been.
So we all get caught up, right? We get caught up in our lives. And then pretty soon we're like, oh, I didn't reach out. And we feel guilty about that. And agents sometimes will tell me like they can't stand the idea that they'll discover their past client has done business with another agent because they didn't stay in touch, right?
Well, you want to know what's interesting? Recent NAR statistics for 2020, something like 90% of buyers and sellers said that they would use their agent again. But do you want to know, like, honestly, the amount that does, isn't it something like 40% or something actually do because they forget their agent's name?
Much lower. Only 11% actually do.
Oh, wow.
I actually have those stats here. I'm going to show those stats. So that's super cool. That's top of mind for you. No worries, man. No trouble at all. We're going to power through some stuff and then we're going to jump into the tech that makes all this happen. So, there's a real important thing here, right? There's some basic things that you must do in order to really benefit from the relationships in your database. And right now, because of market conditions, they are more important than ever. So my personal goal is to make sure that by the end of the session, you all have a path that you can follow to get the real results that you need in today's market conditions. So to do that, you can't just have a tool, right? You have to have strategies that work reliably. Like not once in a while they work, but consistently, reliably work. It's got to be stupid easy for you to put in place and use it. And one of the things I think is most important, because let's face it, Nick, every brokerage on the planet, every CRM on the planet gives agents content they can send. And yet agents don't send the content because they don't like it. It doesn't feel like them. If it's cringy content, you can't be associated with that, right? So we're going to show you how we've partnered with LCA Nurture to make that problem go away. Now, throughout the whole session, we're watching the chat. Get your pens out, take your notes, people. Get ready to ask your questions. They will not go unanswered. We'll be paying attention. One little housekeeping thing. I mentioned this before. This is super important. If you are on the waiting list for LCA Nurture, your spot is ready now. You just have to go to happygrasshopper.com/meet LCA Nurture, and that's where you can sign up to open your account. So
I just
first thing we're going to...
Can I
go ahead?
Something?
Yeah, dude, jump in.
I mean, sheesh, Dan, can I get a word in?
Yeah, yes.
All I was going to say was, my business has always been 60 to 70% sphere. So, the stuff that we're going to talk about and the stuff that LCA Nurture has inside of it is stuff that works. So, Tristan and I wouldn't do something if it didn't work, obviously, Yeah. And someone wants you to post the link again. It's happygrasshopper.com/meet
LCA Nurture. So happygrasshopper.com/meet LCA Nurture. And we'll make sure we get that dropped in the chat for everybody. Now, look, guys, I cannot stress this enough. I'm 10 years in. Happy Grasshopper is 10 years old 1 month from today. That is startling to me that we're 10 years in. And in that time, we've sent hundreds of millions of messages, right? Every year we send hundreds of million messages. Currently, we're nurturing about 16 million contacts for real estate professionals. And the math on this is stupid clear to us. There are between 2 and 12 transactions for every 100 people in your database, okay, every year. So, if we think about that number, that's a mighty big range. And we need to explain that the difference for that range is the quality of the relationship that you have, okay? So my core belief is that if I have 100 really good relationships, if I have 100 people who will refuse to let their friends and family do business with anyone but me, I don't need a lot of marketing. Like, I don't need to buy leads. I don't need to bust my butt trying to figure out how to grow. I don't have to worry about the peaks and valleys in my business because I have 100 people out there who are making sure they're always sending people to me. So, the paths we can follow here, you're talking about leads, Nick. Here's some data for you. Look this up in the NAR study, right? 90 million digital leads per year. There are just 5.5 million transactions.
Isn't that crazy?
It's startling, man. It's just absolutely nuts. As you think about what that means, like 5.5 million transactions and 90 million leads. So the average IDX lead is registered with as many as 10 agents. Like, they're all getting the same stuff all the time. It makes all agents look the same. And if you're going to be the one that they hire, you've got to have content that sets you apart. It's not negotiable. You have to have it. So here's the stat you were talking about, Nick. 89% of people want to hire you again, and only 11% do, right? And the reason for that is they lose touch. You don't reach out. You don't show up in their life as anyone who wants to do anything except sell real estate, okay?
Right.
So we're going to tackle why you're not doing this. And the first thing is organization. Like, give me an amen if that's you in the chat, right? If you feel like, my contacts are everywhere. If I could get them organized, like, I'm willing to have conversations. I see the answers coming in. This is cool. Yeah, I mean, you need to have a level of organization if you're going to send the right messaging to the right people. And to do that, we got to gather them up. So, your contacts are spread out all over the place. They're in your CRM, your phone, your email client, your MLS, all the different tech tools you can think of that you might be using. Your contacts get spread out all over the place. And, you think about all these different categories that people could be in: a search in this zip code, a past client in that zip code, a seller, a buyer, someone who wants to make an investment. Pretty soon it just gets into this rat's nest of a database, and you don't even know where to start. So step one, let's simplify it. There are 2 kinds of human beings on the planet. They know us or they don't. Pretty straightforward. And
Wow.
the content that is in LCA Nurture. Yeah, dive in.
What was the research that you did to figure that out? That there's 2 kinds of people, ones we know and ones we don't know. I'm just curious.
Well, yeah. Okay. So think about it. Like, we could take all the people on the planet and we could divide them by age, nationality, language they speak, gender, what brand of food they like. I mean, you could name it. You could have zillions and zillions of different groups. But when it comes to how you communicate with people, your relationship is the thing that makes the biggest difference. So, Nick, we've known each other 10 years, right? If I don't call you dude and hug you and tease you about your awesome Viking beard, like, it would be totally strange, right? And if I did any of those things to a brand new lead that I don't know, it'd be totally inappropriate, right? So we have to understand that the easiest way to segment our database is to ask ourselves a question: does this person know me? Yes or no? And by the way, if they visited your open house 2 years ago and you haven't talked to them since, they do not know you, right? So do they know you, to me, is kind of a, if you're at the grocery store and you see them, they're like, hey, how are you? They know you, they recognize you. For my personal preferences, when I'm using this system, I go a little farther. I don't want them in there if they know me. I want them in there if they know me and I like them, right? Because I'm going to have a lot of conversations with these people throughout the course of the year. So next question, as we go a little deeper, is what the heck do we send? Like, what's the right amount of content? How frequently should you send it? How long do you keep sending it for? Like, these are all things that stop you from reaching out to the people in your database. So again, 10 years in business, hundreds of millions of data points. The right number of touches per year is 41, and it's in this sequence. So 17 non-salesy emails per year. What's a non-salesy email, Nick?
I'm going to take a stab in the dark. One that isn't trying to sell something or get them to buy something or get them to work with you or refer clients to you.
Yep. Yeah.
So Dan,
message.
What other reason would I have to reach out to them?
You've got to demonstrate that you care enough about the relationship to reach out without a sales agenda. Okay.
True.
Your email signature will remind them what you do for a living. And you can even bring up real estate topics if you do it in a fun way that's not salesy. It's kind of like, you know, there's an inverse relationship here. Like, I don't know if you play golf at all, but the harder you swing, generally the worse the result. Mm-hmm. And, you know, in sales, we think of it like commission breath. If you're selling all the time, people don't want to buy from you. And yet when you just show up and you're comfortable and you're relaxed and you're fun and you're friendly, things tend to roll your way. So that's what these emails do. They set that rhythm where once every 3 weeks, people get used to hearing from you in a way that's not salesy. Okay. And then we need to go deeper. We need to send 12 texts per year and 12 ringless voicemail drops per year. So let me talk about the sequence here, because these really work in tandem. So today happens to be my son's birthday. How cool is that? Right? So I want him to, he's my son. Let me use a different example, right? Someone in my database, a client, a friend. I want them to get a ringless voicemail drop from me on their birthday. And then a week before their birthday, I want them to get a text from me asking if I'm the first person to wish them a happy birthday, right? That works great for someone I have a relationship with. It'd be really weird if they're a brand new IDX lead, right?
First of all, how would you know their birthday?
Right.
Hi, I looked you up on Facebook and I got your birthday and now I'm texting you happy birthday. Not creepy.
I'm stalking you and the data says like it's so easy to be creepy today.
Yeah.
So the text and the voicemail should work in tandem. We should do that for birthdays, for transaction anniversaries. We should have quarterly lead harvesting texts and voicemails. And then we want you to choose 6 holidays per year that you send messaging about. So that's how you get all the way to the full 12. The reason we say 6 to 12 is some of you are going to say, I don't want to message about that many holidays, you know, so we give you that flexibility in the system.
I do one a month.
One holiday per month?
Yeah, I do a holiday every month with my database.
Cool.
And so you start at Happy New Year, Valentine's Day, and then March is St. Patrick's Day. April, you could do Easter if they celebrate it, or you could do like April Fools, or you could do something about tax day. By the way, tax day is a great touch to not ask for business, but to ask if they need any information from you if they're filing their taxes. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, there's so many things that you can find to reach out about, and topical content makes a difference because, you know, you hear for years and years, people are taught that relevancy between the sender and the receiver is the most important thing. And, sometimes the way you can best express that is through the time that we happen to be all sharing together, right? So, whatever that news story is that's trending right now, that interesting conversation thing that people are chatting about, that's usually a good topic to create some messaging around. So what I'm going to do now is jump out of this PowerPoint. I want to get over to the actual application and show you guys how this fits together. What's that?
Can I just share my screen for like literally 2 seconds to
of
show
course.
something pretty awesome? So this is just another example of why it's so important to pour into your database. So I'm just going to share. So this was a slide that I posted on Instagram several weeks ago, but it was taken at family reunion, I think 2020. So when it was still in person, right? Yeah, 2019 was when this stat is from. So check this out. This was a slide that shows in 2019 how much venture capitalist funding was dumped into real estate technology. Okay, 51 million in search, 425 million into brokerages, 1.96 billion into iBuyer, 1.36 billion into mortgage, 265 million into ancillary services, so like title and stuff like that. Zero venture capitalist investments were put into post-purchase. That means they don't care. Big tech doesn't care about your client after you sell them a home. And that's why this is your in. This is your in. You have zero competition. So do it. I love that stat.
Yeah, that's an awesome stat for sure. Thanks for sharing that.
No problem.
So I'm going to jump over and share my screen here. And what you see now is I'm logged into an LCA Nurture account. Is that shown on the screen?
Now, yeah, it is now.
Now it is? Okay, it's popped up. Okay, awesome. So we talked about 17 email messages per year. These are current messages. Our writers just push these into the account. They expire on the 19th and they'll be replaced with all new content. So, 17 times per year, there's new messaging that's pushed here for you to choose from. And, the idea is that some of these messages you're going to love, some of them you're not. That's okay. That's why you have the ability to rate the message. My advice is to choose the one that you like the most. So let's go ahead and pick a message, Nick. Which one of these strikes your fancy?
I want to talk about robots. Can you believe a robot built this?
Okay, we'll preview this.
Oh, that's a 3D printed house?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So in this particular one, there's not a link to the story about this. In many of our messages, we include a link back to the news source of the story. What we're doing here is we're using this to just start conversations on the topic of real estate. What would you rate this one?
We can tell people, well, we can, real quick before I answer that, they can edit the verbiage, right? If they don't really like the way it's like, it doesn't sound like them.
Absolutely.
You can edit so it sounds more like you. I like the topic because that's I'm a techie person, and I think that's a cool conversation starter. So I like this. I would give it 5 hearts.
Okay, cool. I gave it 3 personally.
Well, whatever. Nobody asked.
Hey, that's okay, right? You should send the message that makes you smile the most. Because if you like it, the people in your database are likely to like it. So I'm going to jump through here to another one. You want to choose a different one?
Sure. I'm going to close my eyes and point. No. I like, what do you think? And then the merge field first name, because I want to tell people what happens when you merge field first name in the subject.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So that would read, what do you think, Nick? If I sent it to you.
Okay. I know this is a little out there. Did you see the recent $2.3 trillion COVID bill includes language requiring the CIA? That's an announcement. Wait. So Dan,
Mm-hmm.
some people would think this is true. So, you know.
Well, so the COVID bill did include that language, and the
Oh,
CAI
that's right.
does have to do this. I mean,
Oh,
we're
it's
not
true?
making up stories here. Yeah, it's true. Now, that doesn't mean there's little green men out there. That's not what this message is saying. We're just
Oh.
using it as a topical conversation starter. And
See, I thought this was a joke. I didn't realize that was actually in there.
yeah. So I'm going to show you a different message here. Let me pull up the Meet LCA Nurture page here real quick. All right, so I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to show you a message from a previous send cycle. Is that big enough for you to read? Can you see that all right, Nick?
Yeah, it's really big.
Okay, so we got Blockbuster finally pivots. Hi, Nick. Did you see this? Blockbuster's last store is now an Airbnb rental. Right? And there's a link there to the story. We're showing a picture. And then at the end of the message, you see, speaking of real estate changes, do you know anyone who's thinking of moving, or even someone we could convince to move if they got enough money for their home? Right?
Yeah,
So,
this story is awesome. I remember this story.
Yeah, this was a fun one. And you'll see in a lot of our messages, we have these calls to conversation that tie it back to real estate. And this is exactly the sort of content you need to be sending in these market conditions. Like, or even someone we could convince to move if they got enough money for their home, right? So here's the actual reply that Randall got from this message. Hope you're doing well, blah, blah, blah. Are you able to give me an idea of what we could list for? Right? Those are the kind of responses you need to win the listings in this kind of market. And, you know, the great thing here, like I'll show you this detail. He got that message. He posted about it on Facebook. He was super excited. And then, not kidding, just got a second email from a client that closed in 2017. So from that one Blockbuster message, he found between $1.5 and $2 million in opportunity.
Yeah.
Right?
That's this stuff really does work. Like I said before, I'm big on texting my database. And when there's a class that I teach that talks about the text message that got me $2 million in business and made me 60,000 in commissions. And, you know, it wasn't, and with the same with this example, you know, it probably wasn't just that one email. Like if Randall is doing this, he's doing it regularly. And it was that one email that got him the business, but it was accumulation of staying in touch.
Yeah, exactly. He's demonstrated over time that he wants to maintain a relationship with them. And then when he asks a question like that, they're, you know, super willing to find people. I see we got some more chats coming in. That's awesome. Ding, ding, ding. All right, Todd, I love your question. He says some of the people in my database would see through this and may get a bit disturbed. Should that be a concern, or is this the fear you speak of? Yeah. So you kind of nailed it, right? You're talking about that internal sense of, oh, I don't know how they're going to reply. So let me put you at ease. In every scenario, every time we upload content, it's based on every single thing that we've learned from 10 years of sending content. So if you see a message in the queue and you don't like it, like maybe that alien message here is a little freaky, maybe I shouldn't send that. That's okay. Don't. You know, send one that's a little more focused on real estate. Quick question about home, for example. Sanctuary is typically a place of refuge. You know, how about you? What changes have you made to your home or have planned for this year? I'd love to hear about them, right? So there's always a variety of content there for you to choose from. And I wouldn't worry about that. Just press your trust button and go ahead and send it, because you never know who's going to be out there like Randall found. Now, I'll show you the metrics here. He sent to 198 people. So you don't need to have millions of people in your database for the strategy to work. He had a 53% open rate on that message. And you know what? We just got a notification in LCA the other day. I'm going to pull this over and show you this real quick. Look what Lorraine posted in the LCA group. Like, sent out an email 3 hours ago, have had 5 people out of 92 already email me back. And she says the open rate's incredible. Now, if you zoom in down here, you'll see her open rate is 76%. When you treat people like people instead of sales targets, they engage at a much higher rate. So,
well, also, Todd, you know, I think if that's concerning to you, you can always edit the email and word it more to your personality. You know, that way they won't see through it as much. You know, make sure that you stick with the theme and change a few sentences so it's more natural. I think that would be more effective for you.
Yep. So let's do this. I'm going to run back through a few things here in the account. So first place we're going to go is here on the dashboard. So in the dashboard area, you get a quick look at your analytics. You can see any tasks that you've created for yourself there that you get to work on. You see who's engaged the most. You see anybody in an audience or who needs to be assigned to an audience. And then down here, one of my favorite parts, you see the people in your database who are most likely to move. So when your contacts are loaded here, we're plugged in with a service called Revaluate, and they're using predictive analytics to tell us who's highly likely to move. So anytime somebody scores above 80, they're going to show up here in this group. And like here, we're seeing their Revaluate score. These are updated every day throughout the year. So,
and that just comes from lots of different data points, right? Like, what are some data points you get that information from? Do you know?
Sure. So some of it's plugged into database records, like the county property appraiser database, the public records that are associated with that physical address, divorce filings, deaths, all that sort of data gets scrubbed and put in there. And Revaluate's also able to see which social media accounts are connected to that email address. So they're able to pull in data from those sources as well.
Hey, so Jody had a question about the ringless voicemails. Can you see how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. First, I'm going to come over here to click on voicemail drops. So you'll see we load scripts here for you, and you can preview a script, right? All you have to do is click record voicemail drop. You speak into your microphone and, off you go. Now, a pro tip here is not to make it sound like a radio commercial. Just, you've left a jillion voicemails in your life. Make it sound like a voicemail. I'll show you a couple more here. Like here's a birthday greeting.
Here, so do it like this. Hey, it's me. How you doing, Dan? It's Nick Baldwin. Happy birthday. Hope I'm the first person to tell you that this year. Hey, you're the 100th caller. No, so not like that?
Not like that. Please
okay.
Not like that.
I just can't help it. It just happens.
Yeah, well, some of us have that quality. We can do that.
Jody, it goes straight to their voicemail because it bypasses the ring.
It does. Yep.
As if they have a missed call from you. And you just go like this. You don't say their name. Wait, actually, yes, you are saying their name. So these are customized.
No, we're not saying their name. We're not saying their name. If it was customized to each client,
your name,
recorded every time.
Your name.
Yeah, you're saying your name.
You're saying, hey Dan, how's it going? It's Nick Baldwin. Oh no, not I say, hey, it's Nick Baldwin. How are you?
Here, let me give you an example. So
yeah.
Hey, hello, happy Thanksgiving. It's me, Dan Stewart. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I've got a lot to be grateful for this year. And I care about you, man. Let's catch up after the holiday, after things slow down a little bit. I know you've got my number. You can reach me directly at blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So we put the script here, but people, this is not a magic spell, right? You got to be you. Bring the you to your messaging here, and you'll work much better, right? So yes, Jody, it is built to bypass the ring. It just shows that they missed a call from you. That's how it works. So,
yeah. And if you want me to do a radio announcer voice for your voicemail drops, let me know. You can look me up on Fiverr.
just call Nick. Just call Nick.
Just kidding. I'm not really on Fiverr.
Now, when you come to your account for the first time, like, those of you who are going to buy your account today, when you start, it's going to go through the steps you need to go through to get your account set up. And that is really like straightforward. You're going to have maybe 10, 15 minutes to get this done. And then you're set up. You've got your voicemail drops recorded. You've set up your text messaging. You got the ability to send out your first email. It's super, super easy to get that up and running. And then once every 3 weeks throughout the year, we're going to remind you it's time to pick a new message. On your dashboard, you're going to see when people have birthdays, like my buddy Derek. It's his birthday today. So I can send him a text. I can send him a voicemail drop. It's just that easy. Piece of cake to do that. And somebody had a question about text messaging. I want to answer that question as well. So first thing you're doing when you're setting up text, you've got to choose a phone number. So you just punch in your area code, whatever area code you enter, it's going to give you a big long list of potential numbers you can choose from. Like, here's the number that I text from. And then if somebody dials that number, it forwards through to my regular phone number. Okay. So we cannot spoof your actual mobile number. That's a problem. So we don't want to get in any kind of FCC trouble. We don't want you to have to be dealing with that. So we create these numbers for you. We send the messaging, and then your replies come back here in channels. So like here, I've got birthday replies. I sent a message out to Spencer. His replies come here. I can click through and have all the conversations I want to have with people right here in one spot. So it makes it easy. And then I also have the option of doing that from the contact record. So like, I'm just going to scroll down to my buddy Trey here. I was texting with him the other day. So we have a section here called conversations, and you see any text messaging you're doing back and forth with a contact, it's right there. Okay. So super, super easy to manage that and run all that stuff right there from inside your account. So can I show you something super cool? Is this all right?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a brand new feature, brand new, called digital business cards. So
okay.
Here inside, you can create your own digital business card where you've got all your contact info, your social media, and this is what that looks like when you get it set up. So I'm going to show you on my phone. Say hi to my wife. There she is.
Hey, wife.
Hey, there she is. Yep. And say hi to my 12-year-old.
Look at this picture I put of my wife on my phone. It's like,
oh boy.
She's like, that's when I look at it, I go, oh, I got to do the dishes.
So I've just saved this this link here, and I know
that's
it's
cool.
Kind of bright, right? So let's imagine we're out somewhere and we're meeting people. We have a little chat. And we say, hey, I want to keep in touch. So I say, Nick, just point your camera at that for me. Like, you could do this right now if you're watching this, and it's going to open this on your phone.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Right. So now you've got my site there, and
boom, boom, boom.
You see contact info up there at the top.
Well, hold on. Let me just block contact. Oh, sorry. No, I'm not trying to. All right, cool. So let me open this up. So I already have your contact info, though.
Of course you do. Of course you do. But you see, you can email me, call me, text me.
That's so cool.
Blah, blah, blah. All my info is there. And like, I go a little further down, I can just click that plus button at the bottom. And I can add info. Yeah. So if I'm out and about and I'm meeting somebody, I just pop them in here, and then they're going to go in my list. What's that?
They go right into LCA Nurture?
They go right into LCA Nurture.
Whoa,
absolutely.
That's so cool. Yeah. I didn't even know that we did all this stuff.
Yeah, man. This is, like I said, this is brand new. This is brand spanking.
I was like, Dan, build cool stuff for us.
I will do that. I will do that. And I will also kind of tease you guys a little bit. We have some super cool new stuff coming to the dashboard. So it's
Like
in
what?
testing right now. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you, but it's so cool.
Man, give me a hint.
So
What does it
excited.
rhyme with?
Oh God.
I'm just kidding. No, but
I
that's
don't know
cool.
where
So
to go with that one.
we have the texting, we have the email campaigns, we have the voicemail drop, and I love that I get an email when it tells me there's new content available.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I got one of those the other day. I was like, "Hey, there's new content available in your Happy Grasshopper LCA Nurture account," and you go in and take a look and decide, which email you want to send or which text you want to send. So that's pretty sweet.
It's all right there for you. I'm going to click back on this area. Like each of these have their own separate reporting. So, I mean, look at my open rates here over time. 56, 50, 49, 56, 58.
By the way, the average email open rate in our industry is 12%.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Content makes a big, big difference. It does. Now, there is this bonus feature here we hadn't really talked about, the handwritten cards. So,
yes, oh my gosh, yes.
This is an a la carte feature. So, whenever you want to send a card to somebody, you can just click this button and choose a card from the library. There are only dozens and dozens and dozens of them. So we actually break them into categories. Is there a category you like here, Nick? I'll grab it for you.
What's coming up? Valentine's Day. Is there a Valentine's Day? Oh, it's probably under seasonal.
Yeah, I don't know if they're loaded there yet. We still have the holiday message.
Sorry, of course I choose the one that you don't have.
Okay.
How about
no,
you're like pick
Valentine's Day.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, we got it.
Pick any card except Valentine's Day.
No. Here you go. It's Valentine's Day now.
Cool.
So I'm going to go ahead and pick this card. That's the one that jumped out to me, right? So all these cards look like you ran to Hallmark and bought them. They don't say LCA Nurture on them. They don't say Happy Grasshopper.
Could you imagine if there was a picture of our faces?
That would be awesome, because what says Valentine's Day?
That would get you a lot of referrals, yeah.
So anything that we write here shows up as if a human wrote it. It's a robot holding a pen. So happy for you. And whoops.
While you're typing that, I just want to tell people this is actual pen to paper though. So like, and it's not, and people are going to ask, well, isn't it like send out cards? No, in that send out cards does not try to look like you wrote it with pen to paper. It's printed like a greeting card. This is like you wrote the note. And so when your client gets this in the mail, if they run their fingers over it, they'll feel the ink and the indentation. So, and how many do you guys have different handwriting? Oh, you do have different handwriting to choose from.
Tons. Yeah, there's tons of different fonts here people can choose from. And whichever font you choose, I want to point out something here that's pretty cool. Like here's the word happy. It's got 2 identical letters in it. Here's your wife's name, 2 identical letters, and the letters don't match each other.
Right.
It's a dead giveaway. It's a machine that did it when those things aren't paid attention to. So,
and it comes in the mail with a real stamp. And by the way, that I would find the one that looks the most like a kindergartner wrote it. That would be my handwriting. Okay. So
this one, I think you can get a prescription filled with. So that's kind of cool.
Totally.
There are some pretty sloppy ones in here. My pro tip would be don't worry about it looking so much like your handwriting as whether or not they can read it. So, that's why.
And your client's not going to, if your client knows your handwriting, then you've probably been sending some different types of notes and they've gotten to know it really, really intimately. Right, Dan?
Yeah, it could be. So here's what this card actually looks like when it arrives in the mail.
I think it's great.
Super cool.
And by the way, listen, it comes with a stamp. It looks professional. I've used it many, many times and people don't know the difference. I even get people who call me or email me or even write me back a handwritten note. You know what I mean? That's the coolest one. Yeah, how much are the cards, Dan?
Well, this one is $4.35.
Okay.
So you'll see if you click different cards, you'll see different prices. Like that one's $3.85. It varies a little bit.
Is it just the
And
size of the card, or the amount of colors on it? Like
the size of the card, the quality of the stock that it's printed on, that all goes into it. And I will say also, if you ever need to send in bulk, let us know, because the pricing scales downward, right? That is a price per just one card. If you're going to send out like 300 Christmas cards or something, you want that that discount there for you.
Well, also, just so people know, like that includes the stamp too. So,
well, it's more than that though, Nick, because it's the card in an envelope with a stamp on it, put in the post office and delivered for you. So you don't have to get in your card and go pick out a card. You don't have to write it out. You don't have to go buy stamps and stick it on there. And then you don't have to run to the post office to mail it. Right. So there's a lot of time savings there that's in doing that. I recommend sending these for transaction anniversaries. If you know a particular holiday that's important to someone, it's good to do it for that as well. For new potential clients that you're meeting, like let's say you just signed a listing agreement today, it'd be awesome to pop in here and send them a thank you card. Right now, when you come back,
I have a quick question. Could you you should do this like the second you leave their house and just write it before you driven away.
Yep. And the cool thing is you can do all this from your phone. So the whole application is completely responsive. We're showing it to you here on a desktop, but like I'll shrink this down here for you. You see everything scales down to where you can run it from a phone. Like piece of cake. All right. So I always want to make sure that we're answering questions as we go. I know a lot of you have entered your questions here and we've answered them. Any other questions that you have left? We're kind of getting close to the end of the hour, so I want to make sure we squeeze them in there.
Yeah, I'm going to check the Facebook page, the Facebook stream, to see if there's any questions. I just want to also say, listen, like this makes it so simple, to keep in touch. It's mostly set it and forget it. Lots of great drip campaigns, and you can customize it to, sound like you. Edit all of the texts and emails. But this is the time to stay in touch, stay in front of your database, especially with all the disruption that's happening. If you're not in your database, someone else is. So stay in front. Out of sight, out of mind, as cliche as that sounds. There's nothing. It doesn't relate to anything more than it relates to real estate, honestly.
Well, and you know what? We didn't even really talk about pricing, Nick. We should do that. The service.
Wait, so hold on. Let's go through everything.
Okay. All right.
Texting,
emails. 17 emails, 12 text messages, and 12 ringless voicemail drops. That's 41 touches per contact per year. It actually costs you less than $2 per contact per year. So, I mean, it's like the biggest no-brainer ever. So what you'll do when you come to this page, you'll click Buy Now, and you'll see you can sign up monthly or you can pay annually. I do want to clarify that Revaluate is only available in the annual plan. So
that's the predictive analytics.
That's the predictive analytics. Absolutely. So added bonus, when you buy the annual plan, you get 2 months free. And you also get 100% upgrade credit on any future account that you choose to have with us. So like if you need custom campaign content written, if you need us to catch your leads from, 1,100 different sources, if you need us to write recruitment campaigns for your brokerage, we can do all that for you. And you get 100% credit of this investment off that additional investment. So
that's awesome.
Head over to happygrasshopper.com/meet LCA Nurture, where you need to be to do that. I see a question about integration. So Sue, I don't know which CRM you're using, but I will show you that we have integrations with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different services. So here you can drop in API keys. Like you see, I've got my calendar link integrated here. We've got connections with Zapier, Follow Up Boss, PySync. I mean, the list is long and it's growing. Okay, you've posted Chime. So we catch leads from Chime every single day of the week. LCA Nurture is not a lead conversion system. So what we would do is export those people from Chime that are a good fit for this program. So you definitely know them. They definitely know you. Those are the people that need to come into the database, and then we send the messaging from here. Now, if you're using the Chime email integration, your email replies are going to get pulled right into Chime and be associated with those contact records. So, and also keep in mind, like, you're not in this system every single day. You don't need to be. It's doing its job for you. You're just getting the replies from the content we're sending, and that's what you're responding to. So hope that helps.
I think it's
so
great.
Nick, like, wrapping all of this up, if we think about the value of a transaction, like, I don't know what the average GCI is in your market, but NAR says it's about $6,000 nationally. So
yeah, it's about, yes, about 7,500.
Yep.
So,
okay. All right.
You know, yeah.
So if we round up, we say $500 per year, and that brought you just one transaction. That's a massive return on investment.
I would say so.
Yeah. And we know that there are between 2 and 12 per every 100 contacts that are in there each year. So I would expect it to bring more than that. And as you saw the email from Randall, we found 2 transactions in just one email for him. And those were high value transactions. It's like $60,000 in potential commission for him on a, tiny little investment. So kind of a no-brainer.
It's definitely, like, staying in touch with your sphere of influence and people you know. I mean, you can't ever say that you can't afford it anymore because it's less than $2 per contact per year. And if you're going to spend any money in marketing, this makes it so easy to pour into everybody, honestly. Like, this is definitely, and this is the way most successful businesses build and can and sustain and grow their business. So Jennifer's asking about contacts. So only up to 250 contacts, and then what happens?
Well, if you need more contacts than that, reach out to us. I'll say, in my experience, most of us can't really know that many more people. Most agents don't have that many people in their database, but we have several who have way more that they need. So we can accommodate that. We just need to know.
I would clarify, you don't need 250 people to have a thriving business. Like, I've been in the business for 15 years. I would say, out of the 1,000 some odd homes I've sold in my career, like, there's maybe 50 people that I keep in touch with, consistently. Like, honestly, like, the people that are going to be getting these follow-ups from you are going to be the people that would expect these follow-ups from you because you have a really good relationship with them. So not everybody's going to need this. So 250 might not sound like a lot, but it actually is quite a bit when it comes to this type of marketing.
Yep, it is. And, like, I didn't show this, but we have Kara Moore, who messaged in to say she got 93 replies. She sent to like 150 people and she got 93 replies. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, you don't need to have a zillion people in there. Now, I saw a question, Jody, about, is it easy to import contacts? So I just want to show you this real quick. Again, with the tour, we walk you through all these steps. We show you exactly how to do it. But it's as easy as just dragging your file over, or you click and you attach it just like you'd attach something to an email. And then when you pull it into our system, it maps the fields. So what that means is, maybe in your database, you call it first, and maybe in ours, we say first name. So we just want to match those 2 fields so everybody gets loaded in and we're sending the right messaging out to the right people. So
Totally. Somebody else had a question. Jennifer, she said she said on a team, she was hoping to add their agents spheres as well. So like if someone had a team,
mhm.
how would they, do that with the drip campaigns?
Well, we do that in a couple different ways. So we have team accounts where most of our team clients are generating online leads and we're catching those leads. We're sending custom content to them. We have a team chirp account where you can have a admin login for these individual, I called it chirp, it's LCA Nurture. You can have a team login and just add agents on the account. So Jennifer, if you want to reach out to me about that, we can have a quick call and I'll show you how that works. Dan at happygrasshopper.com is the best way to reach me there. So Nick, I can't tell you how much fun it's been to hang out with you, my dude.
Hey man, I've had a great time. Super fun as always. My beard's still better than yours.
Yes, I surrender.
Yeah, but I'm excited.
My hair is better than yours.
That is true.
It's gray, but I have it. So,
Yeah, that is true. So, but you had to go there, Dan. You had to go there.
Yes,
no, but seriously though, like right now, your sphere is more important than ever. And by the way, this is a great time also to just kind of check in on people. Like 2020 was a rough year. Check in on them now, see how their 2021 is shaping up, see how they're doing, see if they need toilet paper, that type of thing. You know what I mean, Dan?
I'm out of paper towels, Nick. Help me out. Save me a trip to the store.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know there was a toilet paper shortage in the beginning of the pandemic. So it could be like a joke or whatever, but if they need it, then you have to be prepared to go get the toilet paper and bring it over. No, but care calls are very important. Care calls are very important. So Brian is saying, is your sphere and past client ever more? Oh, I have to click as it.
Brian's on my staff. He's like, I don't know, trying to send me a message there or something. But yeah, duh, we talked about that at the beginning, my man. There is never a more important time to reach out to people in your database than when listing inventory is low. There's not, right? Because you've got buyers. You don't need to find more buyers. You've got to find homes to sell. Yeah. And relationships are the way to get it done. So I would highly encourage everybody who's watching this, whether it's on Facebook or you're here live watching it now, you have got to put a regular plan in place to start conversation, because conversations is a direct path to contracts. If you want more contracts, you've got to have more conversation. Just
there you go. That's all you need is more conversations. All right, Dan, this has been awesome. I appreciate it. Hope everyone got some value. And it was good to see you, buddy. I missed your face.
Yeah, likewise, my man. Likewise. Come on down to Tampa. Celebrate the Super Bowl with me. Let some sun shine on that beautiful face. Come on.
I've been in my basement for a year. The sunlight's gonna burn me. It's gonna burn me.
I'll see you, buddy.
All right, man. Well, have a great day. Everyone go to LCA Nurture. Go to happygrasshopper.com/meet LCA Nurture and check it out. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.